Excuse me, can we have everybody seated? Saurav is here, don't worry, he is not going to run away. Can we request you all to sit? We will give him a standing ovation. Anything that I will say will be held against me. Anything that I will say will not do justice to a legend called Dada, no longer Saurav for us. And can we have everybody sit down? Please sit down and relax. Relax. I know the adrenaline is running. Just sit down, guys. We'll do this later. Probir, we'll do this later, please. We will. Can we have everybody clear this place, please? Can we request everybody to clear the front, please? Please sit down, guys. Okay, so we are running a little in terms of the time schedule, as I said, I can keep going on and on about Saurav. But few know that the thing that's common between Saurav, Orpon and me is we all went to the same school. So we come out of the same school, and before Saurav actually started playing for India, we have played a lot of cricket together in school as well. So this is a sheer coincidence, and the love, the motivation, the inspiration that Saurav has created. Saurav has created two things, very simply. Today, Saurav is not Saurav, he's Dada. So when you come out of an icon called Saurav and you become Dada, you actually become the head of the absolute throne. You become the Dada. So Dada has many interpretations. And two, the cricket in India is no longer Indian cricket team, it's Team India. So when somebody who, with his own leadership, his own conviction, belief and motivation, takes you to another level, another frequency, another strata, he creates a new name to it. He gives it Team India. So while we will all remember Dada with his chest-bearing act at the Lords, which he doesn't want to remember, but he has no choice. And I told him the first day that you still have to live with it for the rest of your life until the time you go to your grave. They will still make sure you don't go in a coffin, you go bare-chested there as well. So it gives me great pleasure because Saurav is part of our brand ambassador, and we have had the amazing good fortune to have him today with us. Nothing like Saurav talking about leadership, motivation, challenges, obstacles, and how to get over it. He has done it a million times. He is an absolute veteran. He has an insulation around him, and he knows exactly how to tackle this. I will request Orpon to bring Saurav on stage with us before we set the evening alight with him. Thank you. Yeah, a big round of applause for Saurav now. You can cheer. We have a small acknowledgement for Saurav as being part of our family. We appreciate his being with us, and a small token of appreciation on our 25th year as well. Thank you so much. There we go. Thank you. Thank you very much.
I take this opportunity to also kind of express my love, my respect for Dada. I think as a Bengali, we are so proud of him. He's done such a great job lifting Indian cricket to where it is today. And what I learned from him, or what I try to emulate, is that challenger attitude that he brought into Indian cricket. That is exactly what I am trying to do in our company. Try to take on the best in the industry, bring that fire that you brought into Team India is exactly what I'm trying to do with my team. And I would really request you to kind of put some more thoughts on how you build it so that we can all learn from that. Thank you.
Thank you, Arpon. Before we start, before Vijay asks me questions and we keep talking, I thank Arpon and Vijay and the entire Biskfarm team, their families for inviting me here and most importantly making me a part of them for the last 4 years. It's really been a wonderful association. I meet Vijay more often than I meet Arpon, and every time when I see him I tell him, can't remember when I've seen you last. In sport there used to be a term called gentle giant, and Arpon is someone like that, a very gentleman, a gentle person, a quiet person. I visited their home once 2 years ago, I think, but not for the right reason. But to both Arpon and Vijay, it's been a pleasure and honor for me to be associated with you. I endorse many companies, but Biskfarm, Arpon, Vijay, their family is very dear to me because they are from my city, from my state. I have grown up here, I have lived here, I have been born here, and I am just like many of you in this room is. So I'm very passionate about with successful people from my state of Bengal. Vijay went with me to school. I don't know whether Arpon did. Arpon. Yeah, Arpon was much junior. We all three of us studied in St. Xavier's school and college. So there is a closeness and attachment. But the reason more I enjoy, I am so proud to be part of Biskfarm is because the behavior which I get from either of them on my right and left. It is something which I will cherish, because, in life, after a while, the money, the association does not make that much of a difference. But what you have is the memories and the respect you get from each other. So I'll cherish that, Arpon and Vijay, for the rest of my life. It's 25 years of Biskfarm. It's a fantastic journey. My father was very close to Arpon's father. We had never met then. We never crossed each other's path when I grew up. I'm senior to him. I think Vijay is senior to me, but just a year. But Arpon is much junior to me. So my father was very close to Arpon's father, Vijay's father-in-law. I have known Biskfarm. I have known them for a long period of time, and then our paths came together 4 years ago when I became the face of Biskfarm. I was just doing a press conference behind, when I came in, and as much as I get blessed in this city, there were so many of them in that room asking about cricket. But what stood out for me is the attachment of so many of them to Biskfarm. And Vijay was, when I walked in, Vijay was telling me, yeah, they'll only ask questions about cricket. My brand will get hidden behind it. But I'm sure he must be surprised with the fondness of many of the media people, the journalists asked about Rich Mari and some of your other biscuits, the googly biscuits. And I obviously said I love the sugar-free one much more than all this. So, I'm so proud of you. 25 is just a number. 25 is just a number. I consider Arpon and Vijay very fortunate that their parents and in-laws have left something which they can take it forward. Businesses are for generations, brands are for generations. And it's a responsibility of both of them that together they take Biskfarm to newer heights. It's just 25 years. I always say, I'll be speaking to Vijay about leadership, about sports, about team building. And I say that to everyone, that today Biskfarm has crossed 25 years, not just because of the two gentlemen on my left and right. It is because of all of you who are sitting in front of me. The reason India did well when I was captain is because I had some great players. And the reason Biskfarm and Arpon and Vijay and their family and the brand will do well is because of all of you who are sitting in front of me in those lovely white shirts with that logo on the left. The badge means a lot. The badge means a lot in life because you don't just work for anybody, you put your emotions into the work. And I know what all of you have done. There must be someone in this room, a few in this room who's been with Biskfarm for 25 years. And I'm sure they must be extremely happy and proud to where the brand has gone. Vijay was saying it's the 4th largest brand in India, biscuit brand. And I'm sure with time, with the quality, with the taste, you will get right to the top. There is competition in everything, but competition actually makes you better. So I wish you all the very best. I wish you all the success. And I must insist and I must say that together with your efforts, this brand can go to greater heights. So thank you so much for having me this afternoon. We'll have a interaction after this. But to Arpon and Vijay, it's been a great association. I'm honored and I'm proud. And hopefully I've been able to make a difference in the last 4 years. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. I will request you to hold this. So I'm not supposed to be doing the talking, but incidentally, I am left with no choice. So I have to barrage the questions to Saurav, and I will let him flow because I don't think Saurav can work in a structured format. Okay, so I will tell you a quick episode. A year back, we were in Bombay and we were traveling to watch a match in the evening. And on the way to the match, there was an immense traffic collision in Bombay and our car refused to move. So we were stuck in this highway for an hour or two and I could see Saurav's patience running out as it always does on the cricketing field. So after 2 hours or an hour and a half, Saurav finally got down from the car and the police escort who was in front of him, he went and blasted that guy and came back to the car. So I think we had no choice, but Saurav just couldn't get over the fact that in spite of the cops being there, we were not being able to navigate the traffic into Mumbai. So I think cricket will forever have changed, but Saurav Ganguly will never change. Is my complete understanding of this subject.
Yeah, but to be honest, Vijay, that night we were together and I think it was 2 years ago.
Yes.
Or maybe 3 years ago. I have not seen so much crowd and so much traffic in my life. We were in Bombay, we were shooting for you only.
Yes.
Shooting for Biskfarm. We finished the shoot and we had to go to Navi Mumbai to watch an IPL match. So we left Mumbai at about 5:36 and it takes an hour and a half to get to the stadium. It was an 8 o'clock start and I can tell all of you that we reached hardly 10 kilometers in 2.5 hours. There was so much traffic in Mumbai that night. And actually we turned the car around, came back to the hotel and had dinner at the hotel in the night. So it was something which I've never seen before and anybody's patience. Both of us were wanting to get down from the car and I had escort. I had police in front and police at the back and no one moved. No one moved for 2.5 hours. So it was not a great experience.
True. So, as we mentioned in the very beginning that Saurav is absolutely a cricketer. So cricket and Saurav cannot no longer be detached. But few know that he has been an ardent footballer as well. So in school, back home, I think if Saurav was given a chance, I'm going to ask him whether the googly is whether he would have still stuck to cricket or if he had a lifetime opportunity of going back and playing football, what would he have chosen?
I like football, there's no question about it. Ami Bangali, to just like so many Bengalis, we've grown up kicking a football and the time when I grew up, cricket was not that a popular sport in Bengal. Football was far popular and then obviously with time cricket took over. So just like every other Bengali in school and in college, I grew up kicking a football. So I would have loved to play football, but I would honestly say that there is no grudges, there is no repent that my father took me to cricket and made me play the sport. Because what happened 20 years down the line is something which I will cherish for my entire life. So cricket, if you ask me, cricket always first, but I love football too.
Oh, I am not in doubt. So taking it forward, football still doesn't seem to be finding its goal even today. So what do you think? What are the game changes that football requires? Because we can keep talking cricket for hours with you. But I think somewhere in alternate sports in this cricket frenzy nation also needs to be visited.
I think football needs heroes, Vijay. I think the cricket in India changed after the 1983 World Cup when India beat West Indies at Lord's under the great Kapil Dev. And since then, this country has taken up to cricket because it made them believe that, we can be world champions too. And I think football needs that sort of a spark. Whether in the world stage, I know they didn't qualify for the World Cups, but anything after that, they must find a way, and I don't know how, to get 15 players together who can compete with the best in the world. Cricket does, hockey does in India. Cricket is a blessed sport. It happens with every country. Like you go to England, There's cricket happening, there is rugby happening, there is hockey happening, but football's on a different level. The likes of Beckham, the likes of Rooney, the likes of some of the other players in England, they are treated like gods, but at the same time heavily criticized when they don't do well. So some sport in some countries get that special attraction, that special fan following, which actually makes that game very popular. And I think cricket is such in this country. But don't forget, the competition for the game is beyond imagination. Every state, every district has players who are capable of competing and outbeating you if you're not up to the standard. So as you ask me the question, what does football need? Football needs a spark. Football needs 15 of them to make them a world beater at some stage.
No, I completely agree with you. It's just that we as a nation have still not been able to get that spark in place. The cricket seems to fire a nation even today, thankfully to players before you, and you ignited a different kind of a spark. And even today, the frenzy is building up. So we need alternative sports in a huge country like us. That's the only point we need to work on. And we still haven't made some great inroads into that, in spite of our best efforts.
No, we haven't. And I think somewhere down the line, somebody needs to, bite the bullet and say, I'm going to make a change. I'm going to get the game to be played on a different level. The infrastructure needs to change. The facilities available to the football players need to change, because we are a 1.4 billion population country, and I'm sure we can find 15 good soccer players. When we can find 100 good players in cricket, we can find such good players in hockey. There is badminton at the moment, and there is wrestling. I'm sure football can also spark up talent in our country.
So that's what I meant. We still need a Saurav in football to start with. Being captain, I mean, more than a player, the first time Saurav, the captain, took field, it's a different mindset, because even back into our system, when we change gears to the next level of leadership, it needs a huge mental shift. How does one really gear up for it, Saurav? I mean, how do you now, as a captain, take a dual responsibility of not only being just a player, but also the captain of the team?
Can you repeat the question once again?
So the first time that you were given the mantle of the captaincy in the Indian cricket team, there must have been a big mind shift as well happening, because all this while you were playing the game as a player. But then you have a bigger ownership when you become the captain, because you take the brick bats and the back book is with it.
Yeah, but I looked at it differently. I looked at it as a huge honor. I looked at it as a massive opportunity to do something different. I couldn't imagine when I first picked up a cricket bat at the age of 13 or 14, and that I would one day captain India. And captain who? The likes of Sachin, Dravid, Kumble, Harbhajan, Sehwag, VVS Lakshman, who are absolute stalwarts. So for me, it was a very, very proud moment. It was a moment to be cherished in life, because not many get opportunities to captain India. And I was one of the chosen few. And to be honest, when I started playing cricket and when I first went into the national team, I realized that, yes, they accepted players from Bengal, but they did not believe that they would achieve greatness, because the history hadn't produced great players from this state. So when I was first given the captaincy, my first and the foremost thought was, I need to do something which will be remembered forever. And as in business, as in sport, captaincy is all about having the best team. Today Biskfarm has reached 25 years under Arpon, under Vijay, is because they have a good leadership, and they have the leadership to take forward the many employees who are sitting in this room, and so many who are not here with us at the moment. And I think leadership is most important. It's about giving direction. It's about showing the path. It's about managing individuals. And I firmly believe that, the hardest and the most important thing about leadership was to manage individuals differently. And as I said, for me, it was an honor. It was an opportunity to make a name for myself. And I gave everything I had for those 6 years captaining India.
No, you actually jumped 6 questions of mine at one go, because you mentioned the likes of Zahir, Sachin, Lakshman, Dravid, the young Yuvraj Singh, Harbhajan Singh. If you look at the eclectic mix of players that you had to handle with different personalities, and one who could always play truant with the Punjabis for sure, it's quite a tough task putting it all together because it's like a jigsaw puzzle and you're constantly trying to put it together and it falls apart. So it's a challenge we face on our day-to-day working as well as to how do you get the best mix and how do you put them together because there are leaders in this team here, there are managers, and they need to run a diverse portfolio of team members together. But it's quite a tough ask. It's easier said than done today. 20 years later, you can be comfortable in your couch and remember all those moments. But it must have been quite a task because it's been a long journey.
No, it wasn't that difficult, because all of them who were a part of the team realized how important and how valuable was to play for India. So, in spite of me being the captain, in spite of me being the head of the team, they were leaders in their own right. Imagine the great Sachin. I was fortunate enough to captain him. Dravid and me started playing Test cricket together, and played together for a long period of time. They were a group of leaders themselves, and I treated them like that. I treated them as leaders. I could have, maybe next to my name the word captain was written, but for me, they were leaders for me as well. And I made them believe that, I made them feel that in the team. Their inputs were treated seriously, their inputs were implemented, because you only win when every one of us do well. Today, Biskfarm has completed 25 years and will go on further to become one of the best brands in the country, is because all of you work together. All of you in this room are leaders. All of you in this room must think yourself as leaders, as this company, this brand belongs to you. It's not Orpon's, it's not Vijay's, it's not the other members of the family, but it's yours as well. And I think as a leader, it's very important. It was very important for me at that stage to make each and every one believe that this was their team as well. It was not just my team, it was their team as well. So there was hand-holding, there was direction, there was way of trying to get the best out of them. There was strict decisions at times when it was required, because you needed to keep the flock together to make sure that they don't go in different directions. You needed to bring them under one roof. So at times you had to be tough. So it was a balance of everything in leadership. But most importantly, what was important for me was, you made everyone feel that you're a part of this team. I always say one thing in life, and Vijay, that you hire individuals to tell you what to do, and it's never the other way around. Many a number of times when we get into leadership positions, we feel whatever we say is the final word, because maybe I'm the owner, maybe I'm the captain, I know everything, but it doesn't work like that. The best in the system hire individuals, professionals to give you direction, to tell you what to do. And it's very important in leadership to accept and even understand that at times these individuals will be as good. And I did that as in my tenure as captain. When a great Tendulkar came and said something to you, you had to do it because, first you made him feel important. Secondly, you made him believe that your inputs are very important for this team. I'll tell you a small story.
That's what we've been waiting for.
I played a lot of cricket with Virendra Sehwag at the top of the order in one-day cricket. And we were batting at Lords together, and I've said that a few times. We were batting at Lords and we had to chase 325 against England on a Saturday afternoon in a NatWest final. So I went out to bat with Viru, and we got a very good start. I got some runs early front, and by the 7th over, we were 60 for no loss, chasing 325, and it was a packed stadium at Lords on a Saturday afternoon for a NatWest final. So as the 7th over finished, I went up to Viru and I said, Viru, we've got off to a great start. We are 60 for no loss and we'll win this game. Ronnie Irani came to bowl from the other end. So I went up to him and said, we've seen Darren Gough, we've seen Molali, we've seen the new ball through. Ronnie Irani is not their best bowler. So let's not get out to him. If we bat a bit longer, we will get past 325. So Sehwag came up to me and said, okay, Dada, fine, that's what you say we'll do. So the first ball, Ronnie Irani pitches it up, he hits it over mid-off for a 4. I go up to him, I tap the wicket and say, we've got a 4 in the first delivery, so try and rotate. Try and rotate and take a single, and we'll get to 9 by the end of the 6th ball. The next ball he hit Ronnie over mid-on, one bounce into the fence. I went up to him again and I said, Viru, 8 run aa gaye hain, ab thoda sa samal ja, we don't want to get out. हाँ ठीक है. So he hit him for 5 boundaries in that over. He hit him for 5 boundaries in the over, and couple of them flew over point, flew over square leg. I got very upset. And because I said, yaar, your captain is asking you to do something and you're doing completely the opposite.
True.
By the end of the 15th over, we were 130 for no loss. 130 for no loss, chasing 325. We won the game at the end of the day, and I went back to my hotel, and as I sat in my room alone, thinking of the day and thinking what has happened, I thought of that particular over of Virendra Sehwag. And the reason I tell you all of this is because it made me learn something on that particular day. I was a young captain then, this was 2002, and I had just completed a year and a half as captain of India. What it made me realize that, I have people in this team who are enormously gifted and talented. Same as all those people in this room in Biskfarm. I play cricket, I think about cricket in a particular way. But here is one gentleman who thought about it differently.
True.
Not only did he think about it differently, but he managed to implement it his own way. And what resulted was India going on to win the game. And it made me understand that day something which I cherished and carried throughout my captaincy career, and even after that when I was involved in the game, is saying that, you have different individuals in the team blessed with different talent. And at times, some of them are actually better than you. Some of them actually implement it better than you. So as a captain, you needed to be flexible. As a leader of a group, you needed to be flexible in understanding what works for Virendra Sehwag or what works for X or Y, and let him do it. And after that day, I never interfered or tinkered with Virendra Sehwag's way of batting. And my only message to him was that as long as you are consistent and as long as you are delivering the way you want to play, I have no problem. I will only interfere when I don't see the consistency in your performances. And it made me learn so much in life, so much in handling teams, so much in handling group of people, that sometimes you need to allow them to express themselves. You need to allow them to do what they want to do, because sometimes that is better than what you're thinking.
True.
And I think in leadership, as I said, I'll take a second. In leadership, I said, it's never my way or the highway. The best leaders in the world allow individuals to express themselves. You don't hire individuals to keep them occupied with a certain range of thoughts. But I have seen with my experience, because we lived a life where it was a one-ball game. I did not have a second chance. If I nicked a Glenn McGrath or a Wasim Akram or a Sean Pollock, I was out. I could not go and tell the umpire that I need to bat again. But today, if you make one packet of a poor biscuit, you can make another one and refix it. You have a second chance. But I never had a second chance. A sport does not give you a second chance. So sometimes it's very important that you allow people who work with you to express their talent and not try and make them do the only way which is your way.
So I'm tempted to step out of the book and ask another question, because when I see Rishabh Pant, and I saw him the other day with a broken foot almost going back to back, does it remind you of the young boisterous Virendra Sehwag?
I don't think Sehwag was as mad as he is, but when I see Rishabh Pant and the way he bats, because I've dealt with Rishabh Pant.
Indeed.
I worked with him for 2 years in the Delhi team, Delhi Capitals, and I know how he thinks, and that's why he's so special. I played 115 test matches for India. I don't think once in those 115 test matches I've had the courage or the guts to sweep a fast bowler. I may have swept a spinner, I may have swept a medium pacer, but to sweep someone who's bowling at 90 miles an hour, and Jofra Archer that day bowling at 90 miles an hour. Required special skills and a special heart. He may have broken his toe, but that's the way he plays cricket, Rishabh Pant, and that's the way he's different. So I always believe, and when I see it now, media asks me questions, young batters ask me questions कि सर ऐसे खेलना चाहिए. मैंने कहा जिस तरीके से तुम रन बनाते हो वैसे ही खेलना चाहिए और कुछ तरीका है नहीं क्योंकि हर इंसान का अलग अलग तरीका होता है.
No, so very true. And it's also applicable to our company or an organization as well, because we can't have one stroke for the whole country. This country also thinks very differently. So as you said, a Sehwag will never be a Dravid, or a Dravid can't be a Lakshman. And I have to tell you this anecdote. It happened at Bangalore airport, and I was sitting at the lounge, and Lakshman was sitting just beside me the way you were, and he was sipping his beer, and he was still playing for India. And this young gentleman came across to Lakshman and said, Mr. Lakshman, can I tell you something? So Lakshman said, yes, of course you can. He says, Mr. Lakshman, when you play the right hand forward shot, you don't bring your foot right in front. You know, your angle should change a little and you will become a better batter. Poor little Lakshman, he said, yes, you have a point. He listened to him, enjoyed his beer, and went off to his flight. So I think if it had been Sehwag, he wouldn't have got the same answer.
And if Lakshman would have got his foot right to the pitch of the ball, he would have actually not been able to hit those onside shots from outside off stump. And that's why Lakshman was so special. We used to call him, his actual name is Vengipurapu Venkatesai Lakshman, because they are huge devotees of Sai Baba.
True.
So they had the word Sai in his name. But when he played for India, he was called the very, very special Lakshman. VVS, very, very special. But VVS actually meant Vengipurapu Venkatesai Lakshman. So a gentleman, but if you would have told Lakshman to get right to the pitch and defend, he would have actually finished his skill by half. You know, Lakshman is special because all of you must have seen that test match against Australia in 2001 when he stepped out and he kept hitting Shane Warne through the onside. And that's why he went on to win the game. So you can give all advices to Virendra Sehwag, you can give all advices to VVS Lakshman, but you must understand that these are specially gifted players who score runs the way they want to.
True, true. So you have some great days in office. You also end up having some bad days in office, as always. So, and as a captain, it becomes much more challenging to get your team back. In terms of the mental space, the motivation is doubly required. How does sort of the captain achieve this? Because this is quite a tough ask after a bad loss or a bad day in office. You've got to get your team up, running and jumping all over the park again. How do we push? How did you push your team to get back to where they were?
You know, bad days will happen in everyone's life. I say that to everyone. The great Sachin has played 600 matches for India and he scored 100 international hundreds, which means the remaining 500 games he hasn't done what is expected of him. So good days, bad days are a part of everyone's cycle. There's no exception. Even the President of America does not survive for more than 8 years. So he'll have good days, he'll have bad days. And you know, for an individual, it's important to go through that cycle. You only realize good days when you've seen bad days. And there is no one in the world, no business, no player, no athlete, no company who will suffer losses or who will have bad days. I keep asking Vijay, Vijay, how is it going? Sometimes he says, oh, it's been very good. Sometimes he says, no, it's been a little tough for us. But that's what life is. That's what circle is all about, the circle of success. And you have to go through that success because it makes you mature, it makes you learn, and it makes you a better person. You know, the best thing what sport did to me was, it gave me that belief and the strength within. Because I've seen everything. I've seen winning 9 matches to get to a World Cup final, get unbeaten, and then get smashed in a World Cup final by Australia. So I've seen both. And what it does is, it makes you value things, it makes you value success, and you must understand that you will have bad days. There is no individual in the world who doesn't have bad days. And now what you need to do is, as you finish a day and you've had a bad day, you need to have that maturity and strength and mental maturity to wake up next morning and believe it's your day. You know, you have to keep believing that every day in your life is your day. It won't be, but if you keep believing, you will have more good days than bad days. The difference between the best player in the world and the average player in the world, or the difference between the best company in the world and the average company in the world, is they have more good days than bad days. The best company, the best player doesn't have all good days. They have more good days than bad days than the average ones. And you must remember that, you must understand that, and find a process to be successful in that way.
No, I completely agree. And it's always a tougher task always to get your team back in the mental spirit for the next day. But as captain, as leaders, it's our job as well to make sure that the next day is a fresh day in your life. You begin all over and you begin fresh. Yeah, so you've had multiple roles in your life as well. Sort of moving out of cricket, you've taken up administration, you've taken up being a perfect anchor on television, you've been a commentator, you have a cap which you don for your businesses as well. How does sort of manage to fit into everything beyond cricket? Because in cricket you were only in cricket, focused.
Yeah, sometimes I overdo it, Vijay, to be honest, and I realize that because as you grow older, you realize that you need time for yourself. Time for yourself and time for your family and your young children, which I think is very, very important. But, I consider myself fortunate that I get so many opportunities. Now, I'll tell you something, there are two ways of looking things at life. When your captain asks you to bat at number 3 on a green seaming pitch, you can have two thoughts. First is, why me? And the second is, why not me? I don't believe in pressure in life. I don't believe in hard days in life. For me, everything in life is an opportunity. When Vijay came and spoke to me 4 years ago, wanting me to be a part of Biskfarm, for me it was an opportunity to take a homegrown Bengali brand around the country. When I got an opportunity to bat at number 3, the reason I became a good player because I batted at number 3. The reason Sachin Tendulkar became the best opening batsman in the world in one-day cricket because his captain asked him to bat as an opener. So when you are put under pressure, when you're asked to do things by your boss, by your captain, think it about as an opportunity, not a pressure. The word pressure does not exist for me. For me, everything in life is an opportunity to succeed. And you will only succeed if you get opportunities and make use of the opportunities. I always say that if you don't take risks in life, you don't become successful. For us, every day of the life was a risk. When you hit that ball which was pitched up through the covers, it had a marginal error to nick it or hit the middle of the bat. And you lived all your life on that edge. And I think that's the reason why, and my answer to your question is, every time you put me in a position to do something, I do it. When I first hosted the television program, I remember the first day I was at the shoot and I came back home and I told my mother that I'm not good enough. I'm not good enough and they're going to find somebody else maximum in 2 weeks' time. And I went on to complete 10 years. Because, for me it was a challenge. And the best thing that sport gave me, cricket gave me, living under pressure, living on the edge, living on the battlefield for 15 years, was that confidence. That if you put me in a difficult situation, I will succeed. And I think that's the only thing I carry. And as you said, other than time management, other than the workload, I totally enjoy what I do because, it makes me feel good at the end of the day. You were asked to play cricket for India. By God's grace, you did well. You were asked to host a show which you never did in your life. It became the highest rated show in the country. You wanted to build a plant, you started doing it, and hopefully it will be successful. So for me, all these things add up to that one word in life, which is confidence. It's not money, it's not success, but it's the belief that when you give me to do things, I will do it. And it has helped me when I went back to South Africa in 2006, on seaming green pitches against one of the best fast bowling attack in the world. Other than the cricket bat, other than the pads and the gloves and the helmet which I carried onto the tour, what I carried was that quiet belief in me that I will succeed. And I think that's very important.
So, the word that I plucked from here is it's ownership. It's my self-belief that I take ownership of what I want to do. And I think this holds good for all the team members here, that when you start taking ownership, you deliver by yourself because you stay committed to yourself. That's of paramount importance. On the cricketing front, I have the last question, and before I get into a rapid fire, which I've been told I must ask you. But you changed the way cricket was looked upon in India. Cricket was a docile, soft game. Your acts of aggression, boldness, and dare changed the complexion of cricket. And today it takes cues from you to rise to the next levels. I think, what would you like to tell our team as well? Because taking the dare, taking that leap of faith is a very important and integral part of life, sport, and work. Because sometimes you have to go with your belief. You don't have the future laid out for you. You have to pave the way for the future. What do you think we need to tell our young fellows out here, daring to get on with the world, that what are the kind of dares and risks that they should take? Because you have taken unsurmountable risks at times as well.
You know, I say to every young boy and a girl, and I even say that to my daughter as well, that try and be the best in what you do. There's no shortcut to success, as your parents and your family and your friends will tell you. But you must understand that if you want to be loved, if you want to be respected, you have to become the best in your business. And that includes risks, that includes thinking out of the box, and most importantly, that includes commitment to your job in the right way. There is no easy way to success. You know, you look at the great man I played with, he took 24 years to achieve what he has. You know, you look at politicians who put in years and years of hard work to get to the top. You look at film stars who start from nothing. You know, for them every Friday is like an examination, but they keep working, keep trying, and keep improving themselves to make that Friday the best Friday in their lives. So there is no shortcut to success. It's about waking up every morning and putting in the hard work which is required to be successful. You will not have good days all the time. You will have bad days. But as I said before, you need to understand that cycle and get yourself through that cycle. It's your commitment to your job. And most importantly, be honest with the people who you work with. You know, it always stays with you in life. Don't think about easy money. Don't think about the wrong way to success. It's about the right, hard way to success, which will make you an individual, which will make your character strong, and which will give you respect and pride among the people and with the people who you work. I always tell that to young boys and girls, that work the hard way to the top and not the other way around.
True, Saurabh. I think as a company, as a team, all of us having arrived here after 25 years is also a mix of great hard work, determination, and motivation across the whole spectrum. Okay, the next sort of rapid fire was prepared by office. If something is not in the grain of cricket, I am not responsible for it. I am putting the disclaimer. So we are going to fire just 22 questions I have. Who was scarier to face, Shoaib Akhtar bowling or Greg Chappell talking? I am not responsible for this.
Greg Chappell talking. I think there's media in this room. I won't give more explanation.
No, I think we have now discarded all the media from the
Okay.
room.
Greg Chappell talking because I had no control on that. But with Shoaib Akhtar bowling at 150 kilometers an hour, I still had my cricket bat to hit boundaries and sixes.
Which player gives you the most captaincy headaches? And I'm sure you're still friends with them. So one of the great cricketing legends you've played with and gave you the biggest headaches. I don't know whether it's UV or it's the Turbinator, but I'm sure you've had a few.
You know, it's Virender Sehwag.
Okay.
It's Virender Sehwag
Poor
and
fellow.
then my coach, John Wright. He was my best friend, but his worst instrument he carried was a guitar with him. He did not know how to play a guitar, and every time we would lose, his guitar would have the saddest of tones available
That is torture.
on the hotel, that corridor. And when we played, we all stayed at the same floor, all of us together. So the coach would come out in the evening, sit on the corridor and play his guitar.
So he
Till
could
all
live-
of us one day said that every time you lose and you play the guitar, you will have to play inside your room. When we win and you play the guitar, you play on the corridor, because the tone changes with your wins and losses.
Well, you could just have to hear the strums of the guitar to know whether you lost and won. So, who's been harder to manage, the Indian cricketing fans or the Indian cricketers that you played with?
No, no, they were great guys. No, they were not very hard to manage. And neither the Indian cricketing fans, we get so much of love and affection. It's beyond imagination. And even the media and Vijay, you saw that when we entered this room, the love, affection and the frenzy they have for the sport. So I cherish every minute of it. And none of them I have a problem with.
What's more dangerous, a bouncer from Bretley or a shopping list from Donna?
The bouncer from Bretley, because when
predictable.
Donna gives me a shopping list, I used to tell her that's the shop, you please go and buy it. And when Bretley bowled a bouncer to me, I had to hit it. I could not go to the non-striker and say, can we change ends and you play this and I'll stand at the other end.
Well, Donna isn't here to hear this happy news. So if life had a background music, what would it be? A Chak De India or a Dhoom Machale for Saurav Ganguly?
I think it's the national anthem. Every time before the start of the game, we used to stand in a queue and in a line and the national anthem was played. Nothing gave more goosebumps and more satisfaction than hearing that in the morning of the game.
No, I could completely understand that. Even when we sit in the stands and the national anthem plays, it's always a great feeling. At times, even if it's not playing the Indian national anthem and it's playing some other country, you still feel the sense of vibe and pride flowing across the stadium. Okay, I don't know why these guys want to know this, but they want to know that how many times Saurav Ganguly himself Googled to see him taking off his t-shirt at the Lord's balcony.
Many times. Many times, and not only just taking off my shirt, I still at times when I'm alone and I'm in bed and maybe Donna is gone out or my mom's in the other room, Sana is in England, I still actually go to YouTube and watch some of my hundreds, which actually makes me very happy.
Of course it does, yeah. It's nothing like recapping all those amazing times you've had, because that's what memories are all about eventually. Well, if you had to spend a week locked in a room with one ex-cricketer, and I don't know if it's Sehwag, who would survive, you or them? Or you or him?
Firstly, I don't want to get locked in a room with an ex-cricketer. None of us will survive. It will not be, forget about a week, it will not be more than 1 hour. And that 1 hour also has to be with good food on the table, otherwise you'll not get past that also.
What's your idea of a strategic timeout in real life? What does Saurav do?
I love my corner on that sofa. There's a coffee machine at home and there's cricket on TV. And I'm at that corner on the sofa having coffee and watching cricket. There's nothing more peaceful, nothing more satisfying and nothing more relaxing than that.
Yeah, we often now see you reeling around on your sofa with those two pets next to you, with their heads drooping on your lap, and you seem to get the most comfort level in the world with that.
Because the best thing Sana does is she buys pets and she goes to England and we look after them. So we have 2 pets at home and they're lovable. They're like human beings. So they're always around me and I really enjoy their company.
So when Saurav sometimes wants to take a little creative liberties with his food habits, what would it be? A rasgulla or a biryani? They've given me 2 other options, which is strange, which is romance as well. I don't know how that fits in though.
Yeah, that's also good. But both biryani and rasgulla will do. Biryani to start with and rasgulla to finish with. Both will do.
On a scale of 1 to 10, how much do you enjoy being called Dada by women? Got my pause.
It's become a term now. Everybody calls me Dada. One who's older to me, younger to me, my age, everybody calls me Dada. So it's become a name now. It has got nothing to do with age, gender or where you're from. The first thing they meet me, Hare Dada, how are you? I said, boss, my name is Saurav Ganguly. He said, no, you are Dada for us and then Saurav later.
Yeah, true. As I said in the very beginning, that Team India and Dada are not synonymous. So you create this pedigree for yourself with your own achievements. Indeed so. What's your idea of a perfect date? Candlelight dinner or cricket under the stars? I don't know how to really phrase this, but cricket under the stars.
Cricket under the stars.
How do you have a perfect... Whoever phrased this question in my office, Please speak to me later on as well.
What's the question?
What's the idea of a perfect date? I will leave it at that. What would
Perfect
Saurav
day?
Ganguly consider as his
Perfect day, I'll tell you, and I'm honest about it. Wake up, tea with biscuits, and I enjoy more the rusket biscuits of Biskfarm because they're sugar free. So I have it, and he'll vouch for it. He'll vouch for it. Every 2 weeks, I tell him my stock is over. Can you please send me? And I need that green packet. So although I endorse Mari, but I keep asking for rusket. So that's one. Then as the day progresses, shingada and jalebi on a Sunday morning. One shingada and half jalebi because that's too much of sweet. Then afternoon, I don't eat though, but when I was young, I used to on a Sunday afternoon rice and meat and lebu. And I'm sure many of them still do it on a Sunday morning, asking the wives to cook that for them. And then a good afternoon nap, and then wake up and watch a movie. It can't be better than that. And if you could do 3 to 4 days a week, life would be made for me. But unfortunately,
Do you
I can't
really do
it
that?
anymore.
Do you really do that 3 or 4 times a week?
No, I don't do it.
Would Saurav be stuck in an elevator with his toughest coach or his high school crush?
Obviously, the second one. Why should I get stuck on an elevator with my toughest
Yeah,
coach?
it's a pretty dumb question.
Although I have got stuck in elevators a couple of times, in hotels, but luckily they had the system which they have opened the elevator
Yeah.
out. It's the most scariest thing in the world. But then it can never be with a tough coach, and it can always be with the crush.
So I must tell you this, in London we got stuck in an elevator as well. And Orpon's cousin was in the elevator and there was an elderly British couple also in the elevator. The elevator refused to budge and open. So finally, his name incidentally is also Saurav, he gave a few kicks to the door and the door opened. And the British couple were amazed. He said, that's how you do it in India probably. Okay, the final question is again about cricket, but it's about the large cricket ban. Which cricketer in India do you think has the highest or the most number of admirers around him?
Which cricketer at the moment?
Or while you played as well, for sure.
I think with generations, different players came in. In my generation, Sachin had so many people
I'm sure UV had.
admiring him. Myself had, Rahul had, then Yuvraj had. Our generation came in, then MS Dhoni came in. He had a huge number of fans, MS Dhoni. And for me, he's a massive success story coming from Ranchi,
True.
which never produced an international cricketer. Forget about the captain of his stature. Then Virat Kohli came in. Virat Kohli had a massive fan following, and now it's the time of Shubman Gills and Rishabh Pant. So every generation produces stalwarts and people who want their cricketers to do well. And Indian cricket is so talented, so gifted, and so much amount of talent that this country will keep producing such characters in the years to come. It's like football. Came the time of Pele, came the time of Beckenbauer, came the time of Maradona, came the time of Messi, Ronaldo, and in the years to come there will be some other champions. So sports always produces champions, and it's going to go on forever.
No, I think you've hit the nail on the head. Because as with time, we will also keep evolving with newer players, more players with the dare of Rishabh Pants of the world as well. They change the dynamics of the game because I can't imagine a Sunil Gavaskar batting with Rishabh Pant on the other end. I mean, can you imagine that? Though he had a Chetan Chauhan with him, but not the like of a Rishabh Pant.
Sunil Gavaskar would have retired if he had to bat with Rishabh Pant at the other end.
No, I think it's been such a wonderful evening having Saurav with us, and I'm not going to strain him with any further questions. I think I will just ask him to give us a closing note because it's so important that Saurav leaves us with his highs of motivation and how he thinks we should, going into the future, also endeavor to be real leaders in life as well, because we are all not going to be excelling in cricket, but in our life, in our own ways, we also have to be leaders in whatever we do, in the littles or the bigs of life that we do. So can I ask Saurav to conclude with giving us a little fiery note on how to go about this?
As I said, we had a long chat, and I thank you once again for having me this afternoon with all of you. It's been a fantastic association. All I can say is that, keep working hard and keep looking up. There is no looking back in life. You know, there are two ways of, there's only one way of going in life. It's looking forward, because if you think you're fine and you're stuck and you remain at that position, you'll only keep going forward. So under the leadership of Orpo and Vijay and everyone of the Biskfarm family, my only advice to you is keep progressing, keep taking the risks, keep going higher and higher, because that's the only way of surviving in the world. And I'm sure with your effort, with your hard work, and with the right minds in the business, you will become one of the best brands in the country in the years to come. As I said, I'm extremely proud of this association, and I wish you all the very best.
No, likewise, Saurabh, I think we are also extremely delighted to have you with us as part of the family. It's not a brand association, it's a family association that is there. And I think in East, particularly in Calcutta, few and far in between companies take the dare to go where we are. You have shown it to us on the cricketing fields. We try best to do it when it comes to business as well. And I think all our dreams are to really make this a national foray and a national impact company in the future. Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much.
Thank you.
If you thought the media has mobbed you so far, you wait and watch what our guys can do to you. But they'd love to have a photo op with you, and I'll leave it to Shipona and Tania to hold fort, because I'm sure these guys are worse than the media guys of the world. Thank you once again, sir. Thank you so much for
Thank you.
being with
Thank
us.
you, Vijay. Thank you.
Okay, guys, just go back. We will call you region-wise. We'll just go back, please. Will you just go? One sec. This is going. Okay, just. Saurav, I think you'll step up with me. One second. Okay, wait. One second. Saurav, I think just step up once. Yeah, this is going to get a little tough. Don't go up. Guys, just go down, please. Just go down. We'll get you region-wise. Just go back, please. Just go. We'll get you. I think we'll just exit because this is going to get tough. I'll get him in. One sec, guys. We'll just organize this. Just go back to your seats. We'll go region-wise. Just go back. Just. Hi, guys. Just step down the. Yeah. No, I'm not trying. Just if it's getting disorganized, we'll just go back. We'll just have everybody down, please. Just please go down. Hello, excuse me. Can I just request, because Saurabh has a flight to catch and we're not going to delay him, if we can just get this region-wise. Can I have region 1 here only? Everybody can just clear. Please don't step on the stage. Please don't step on the stage. Just region 1 and everybody can go back, please. Nobody will kindly step on the stage. It just disturbs. Shivana, I think please Saurabh can actually just coffee room जाओ ना open shop. If I can organize this, I will get. Otherwise, we'll keep it out. Don't try to force these things. It's okay. Just please don't get on the stage. Please don't get on the stage. Please go down. Please go down. Please. Sir. Shipana, this is not Shipana. Just go. Just go in the coffee shop. I'll get off. Sir, I think it's best to just follow Shipana to the room. There will be chaotic. Can we just have everybody organized here? Yeah, if everybody doesn't follow it, it will be difficult. I just want region 1. Can I have one sitting here? Everybody else, please We'll call you region 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. Can you sit in the blocks, please? Region 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's easy to do that. Region 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 at the last. Shaukat, I think you take the mic. Can you put region 2, 3, 4, 5? Once it's ready, I will call you. Region 1, we will come.
Hello. Region 2 and 3 team, please stay right on the side. Region 2 and 3 team, please stay on the right side of the stage. थोड़ा पीछे जा और पीछे जा. Region 2 and 3 team, right side पे जाओ. Go to the right side of the stage. और पीछे, go back. Otherwise it will only delay the process. Go back. थोड़ा और पीछे जाओ, पीछे और पीछे जा. They have to take the photo ना. पीछे जाना, पीछे तो और जगह है ना. पीछे नहीं है क्या जगह? पीछे जा. This is 2 and 3. Region 4 and 5, please stay on the left side of the stage.
The team on the right, can you step back a bit because they have to exit? জায়গা দিতে হবে ওদের যাওয়ার জন্য।
हाँ, yes.
একটু তোমরা স্টেপ ব্যাক করো টিম অন দ্য
पीछे की
রাইট।
तरफ जाओ, पीछे बहुत जगह है, पीछे जाओ।
আর যাদের হয়ে যাবে সামনে রোটা দিয়ে বেরিয়ে যাবেন।
Go that side यार।
একটু সবাই ভাই একটু স্টেপ ব্যাক করে যান। ইয়া একটু এই জায়গাটা খালি করুন যাতে ওরা এক্সিট করতে পারে।
पीछे जा और पीछे जाओ। Go back। पीछे जाओ। अरे
And can we have the photographer in place, please?
गाइड करो।
Can the photographer come in place? Sir, এখানে আসবে। এখানে।
और पीछे जाना, जगह है ना। तुम लोगों का फोटोग्राफ्स।
ফটোগ্রাফার সামনে আছে তো?
पीछे जाओ, नहीं तो इनका फोटो नहीं आएगा। पीछे जाओ, जगह है और।
চেয়ার দাও, সোফা দাও, যা দেবে দাও।
Photo will come। Where is the photograph?
এর ক্যামেরা আছে তো এখানে?
हाँ আছে।
ফোন চাই না, ক্যামেরা চাই।
तुम कौन
ক্যামেরা
सी
নিয়ে
region
আসুন।
से है? पीछे जा, पीछे जाना, जगह है तो पीछे और जाना।
আপনারা যত দেরি
পিছনে
করবেন দাদার চলে যাওয়ার চান্স তত বেড়ে যাবে। একটু হেল্প করুন আমাদের। হ্যাঁ
Do
please,
it fast।
একটু হেল্প করুন সবাই।
ये
মাঝখানে রোড রাখুন। রিজন 1 কে বলছি আপনাদের হয়ে গেলে সোজা বেরিয়ে যাবেন।
And region 1।
রিজন 1 কে রিকোয়েস্ট করছি হয়ে গেলে সোজা বেরিয়ে যাবেন। সোজা এলাকায় খালি আছে।
स्ट्रेट निकलना यहाँ। हाँ
বাঁদিকের লোটা একদম সোজা বেরিয়ে।
अरे फोटोग्राफर कहाँ गया? फोटोग्राफर। No, the photographer is missing। Where is the photographer? Photographer कहाँ पे हो? Where are you?
Can you please confirm that the photographer is here? Then we will quickly call Dada.
So, Mr. Photographer, where are you? The main person is missing here.
কি বলছে তো আছে বিজয় স্যারকে ডেকে নাও এবার প্লিজ কল দেম
Mr. Photographer, where are you?
আচ্ছা এটা উঠে পড়লে তো কিল একটু বসুন তাহলে সবাইকে তো দিতে হবে একটু বসুন জাস্ট গিভ আস 2 minutes we'll get it done আচ্ছা আবার বলছি একটা ছোট্ট রিকোয়েস্ট দেখবেন বাদিকের লেনটা খালি আছে রিজন 1 সবাইকে রিকোয়েস্ট করব সোজা চলে যাবেন ওকে
And region 4-5, please stay there. हाँ, जब तक मैं नहीं बोलूँ, don't move there. हाँ? अरे उसका फोटोग्राफ नहीं आएगा और पीछे जाना है यार. तुम लोगों का तुम नहीं समझ आ रहा है क्या? नहीं समझ आ रहा है. फोटो आएगा ना तेरा? क्या प्रॉब्लम है? पीछे जा.
নিতে গিয়ে ছবিটা খারাপ না সেলফি নিতে গিয়ে ছবিটা খারাপ করে ফেলো না
Yeah, this is the area where you need to take
Okay.
the photograph.
Okay, ready?
Nothing else, huh? This is the only area.
Smile and cheer. Photographer will give us a go ahead. हाँ बोल yes बोलबेन.
मोबाइल नीचे रख नहीं तो फोटो तेरा उठाएगा मोबाइल का उठाएगा कीप योर मोबाइल फोन
This is region 1, right? Region 2.
so just move away straight and 4-5 please wait don't move from there until I tell you region 2 and 3 just wait there. No, I said you stay there, na? I told you. Stay there. Stay there. Two and three. इधर जगह है राइट साइड जाओ मूव दैट साइड हाँ बैठ जा टाइम नहीं है वो निकल जाएगा प्लीज सिट देयर प्लीज सिट फास्ट बैठ जा
না ওখানে 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 ভেঙে গেছে কেউ ভেঙে পড়েছে
अरे फोटोग्राफर को जगह दे यार वेयर इज द फोटोग्राफर अरे दैट्स द फोटोग्राफर यार जगह दे यार अरे अपना फोन रख ले यार कीप योर फोन डाउन यार Let's move straight. Wait. अरे हड़बड़ क्यों कर रहा है? अरे हड़बड़ी में क्या फन है? चल इधर से आराम से यार तुम लोग मूव करो मूव Region 6 and of his team, please stay on the left side of the stage. Region 6 and of his team. Wait karo. Region 6 and office team, please stay on the left side of the stage. पीछे पीछे जाओ, पीछे जाओ, बैठ जाओ. Keep your phone down. हट जा, हट जा. आ जाएगा, ऑफिस टीम अलग से है. Next, Region 6 and office team. Region 6 and office team. Wait, wait. Please wait there, na. Let them go. हो गया?
হবে না তাই এখানে মিনিমাম 5 মিনিটের উপরে লোক আছে
हो गया, हो गया.
Please don't step up. Please don't step up. Please don't step up.